To order. My clock shows 7 o'clock. I'll call the Board of Finance regular scheduled meeting for October 16th to order. And for roll call, we have 5 directors here in the room. And Nate is absent from the room and neither online. Do we need to verify who's on?
No,
Or is
I don't think we have to.
Okay. Next up is item 2, approval of minutes of the 9/18, the September regular schedule meeting. So a motion to approve the minutes.
so moved.
Second. Dave has the motion,
Corrections?
Nikki has the second. Is there any discussion or corrections on the minutes?
I have one more comment to make up
Steve,
paragraph
please.
7, financial report.
Under what section?
7.
Section 7. okay.
Yeah, the 1, 2, 3, third button, third,
Yeah,
whatever it is, period. It says building official department is by about 18,000. I think it should say is over budget by about 18,000.
Yes.
Something
Yeah.
like that.
that's correct, yeah. You're suggesting we add over budget between is and by?
Yes.
Okay, any other comments or?
I missed that.
No, I did too.
You think?
No, we won't. Any other comments on the minutes? Corrections, additions? Okay, so all in favor of accepting the minutes with the correction noted by Steve, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay. Minutes are approved. Item 3, correspondence. The only item I had, and I'll open it if I missed any, was, just yesterday. You all should have received a statement from the Putnam EMS financial statement.
Yep.
Yep. That's through Q1 through September. I can report that things were going, quite well from a financial perspective. We had a board meeting, last night.
It's nice, yeah.
Last night. And operationally, also doing well. We reviewed the reports for shoot times and response times. Amy, anything you want to add there?
No, I think you covered it. Yeah.
Okay. Any questions on the correspondence from Putnam EMS? Any other correspondence that I might have? that I may have
Yes.
missed?
Stocks came in at 5:51.
Scott,
And
Anthony,
Vincent's
yeah.
report came in at 5:51.
okay. That was probably-
Just-
And we also got a report on funding for Board of Finance.
Well, that was in the report that Jason.
Our budget
Budget.
results, yeah, I have that here. I guess I probably should count that, but I didn't, Dave. That's wrong of me. Are you talking about the
Yeah,
kind of the year-to-date view of our budget?
Right, right,
Okay.
right.
So we'll add that, we'll add funding BOF, budget, and what was the other one I didn't write down?
Spot.
Scott,
Oh, yeah, tax collector report, that's coming today.
Yes,
Okay.
9 minutes of.
9 minutes ago.
9 minutes of 6.
Why not
An
wait
hour,
an hour and
an
9
hour and 9 minutes ago.
I missed that.
Why not mine earlier than you?
Mm.
Thank you.
Any other correspondence that may have come through? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to item
Maybe it
4.
was 51.
Citizens' comments. And we have a few online, but we'll first start in the room this evening. Any citizen in the room that want to make a comment? None, okay. Is there a citizen online at this time that would like to make a comment? No, seeing none and hearing none, we'll move on. Next item is item 5, selectmen's update. And first selectman Amy St. Ange. Amy, is this your last PLF?
It is my last Board of Finance
Well.
meeting.
Do we have a moment of silence? Amy, the floor is yours.
I don't have a lot to update right now. Public Works is just trying to finish up some small paving projects, things that they can get done. While the weather still stays warm and the asphalt plant is still open. As far as my role here as selectman, I am just working diligently to get my office prepared. And things prepared for the incoming first selectman. We had a department heads meeting today. And I did inform the staff that it would be my intention that whoever the winner would be, that I would invite them in for those 2 weeks before their swearing in to meet with the directors, to get a feel for life here in town hall, to meet with the library and just really work hard to make it a smooth transition. So that the incoming first selectman can hit the ground running and not be so lost. When I was handed the position, it was just, I walked in and there was nobody there to greet me. And I think that the transition, there should be a smooth transition and there should be effort made to guide and mentor the incoming first selectman. Once that is done, I will say that it is my intention to kind of quietly slip into the background to allow the new leadership to do their thing. I'll still be present. I still plan on being extremely active with America's 250. We did have the Battle of Fairholm Farm last week. The Sunday event got canceled, but Saturday was a huge success. And grateful to the constables who were there helping to direct traffic, grateful to the landowners who allowed such a successful event. The reenactors were thrilled and they're talking about playing this up and really trying to get the national level reenactors back here to do a larger scale event on the property. So we'll see where that goes. But it has been a pleasure. I've learned a tremendous amount being first selectman, and I have so enjoyed working with this Board of Finance, particularly. So yeah, so I'll still be around, but I will be in the background starting December.
Thank
All right.
you. Any questions for Amy?
No, but a giant thank you for all your
Yes.
service. It's been great.
Yeah.
It's been super great. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Thank you. It was
That's
truly a
extremely-
pleasure and an honor.
You've been really, really great for the town.
Yeah.
Terrific leader and good to people.
Thank you.
So thank
I
you.
don't think
for all
anybody could
these-
work harder at it. I don't think anybody could. You did a fantastic job.
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah.
I appreciate your work.
Bar is set high.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. Okay.
Maybe small
hearing-
shoes, but they're.
Anything else? Nikki, you good?
You good?
Okay.
Let's talk about our keys.
Keep,
Okay.
keep
hearing nothing
interrupting,
else, we'll
keep
move on to item
interrupting.
6. So Superintendent of Schools Melinda Smith, this is not Melinda's last name.
No.
Welcome.
Um,
Have a little-
I'm gonna want to say publicly that I've been in education now for 46 years. I've never had a better partnership with a town leader that I had with you, and I'm gonna try to hold back any kind of emotional tears, but I can tell you that Amy is, quite one amazing woman.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Melinda. Thank you.
So my update, let's start with our October 1 enrollment. So currently at Marriott Fisher, we have 326 students. At the middle school, we have 281. And at the high school, we have 166 for a grand total of 774 students. The lower number at the high school, we have been carrying some students on our books, probably about 6 or 7, who at the end of last year just failed to return to school. We didn't know if they moved states, we didn't know if they dropped out, or they were just had medical issues. And so it took a lot of effort, and it's a double-edged sword because we certainly want to keep our enrollment numbers, but if somebody drops out, it impacts our graduation rate. If someone comes off the books and we don't know where they are, then, or we carry them on the books, then our attendance rate is dinged, and then our accountability and school classification goes down. So it doesn't matter. But we did manage to locate some of the students. They went on to other schools in other states. Some literally dropped out, and we probably will get dinged in our graduation rate, but they're no longer on our books. So there was a discrepancy. We're up over 170, but we had to remove those students. So there was a lot of effort since August to make sure that those students were accounted for. So I just wanted to mention that as far as the enrollment goes. We're going to talk a little bit about FY 25. Although Bill and his auditors haven't completely shut the books for last year. Right now, we're showing a deficit for last year of, and this is remarkable that it's this low, $64,183. That is the deficit right now. There have been some conversation with the subcommittee that oversees the school department's budget. And there's some talk about coming back to you next month to discuss the deficit and then to also discuss some unbudgeted expenses in FY 26, the year we're in. To bring you up to speed, special ed right now is over by 100,000 in their budget. The worry I have about that is that I can't freeze the budget. We didn't get an approved budget until, we just started processing school supplies and POs. And so because of the budget process, we had to reduce everywhere I thought we could reduce, and the board approved those reductions. Well, there's no place else to go. And so my worry about this year is that we're not going to be able to recoup from other lines to cover any kind of deficit that comes up, especially in special ed. And I want to make that clear because I'm worried about it. I can't say, okay, math teacher, stay home, right? The math teacher has to come. So we're down to bare bones, quite frankly. And so I just want to put it out there that we're doing the best we can. But right now, special ed is over and we have some emergency expenditures that are pushing us over this year's budget. And next month, we will probably come before you to have a conversation around the non-lapsing account. The board hasn't grappled with it yet. They had initial discussions, but they'll direct me on how to present to the Board of Finance next month. So that's some of the bad news, but some of the good news. As you know, our state assessment scores have improved. In August, I was invited to the Commissioner of Education's press conference. Thompson was one of 4 districts highlighted. Next month, we are asked to go before the State Board of Education and present our strategies to improve our achievement scores. We are being highlighted with that group. And also my team is going to go out in November because we've been invited to hold a workshop for other educators in the state. It's a Performance Matters workshop. And our team in Thompson, little corner of Thompson, is going to present to the rest of the state. So there's a lot to be happy and proud about in Thompson Public Schools. We are honoring our teachers, who obviously are the people on the front line, with high T for higher achievement. So for every faculty meeting, the culinary students, Danielle and I are putting together a little high tea, thanks to some incentive money from folks in the community. And we kind of guided some of that money to reward our teachers and thank them for that. Obviously, at the end of the day, the students are the ones who took the test and did a good job. That's my report.
Okay, thank you, Melinda. Two quick questions
Yeah.
for me. The 100,000 in special ed, is that as of today? Is that as of the end of September?
End of September.
Yeah, it was in the
End of September.
end of September.
So through Q1, so it's basically a 400,000 run rate, if you looked at, if it didn't improve.
Right. Keep in mind that doesn't include any offset from special ed excess cost, although the expected funds for special ed excess costs this year are probably in the mid 150,000 range. So the
that'll
reimbursement
help.
has shrunk again, so it'll help offset any overage, but it's smaller.
Got it.
Frustratingly smaller.
And then you mentioned also some emergency expenses. You have an order of magnitude on what those are?
Yeah, I actually
If
do.
not, we can talk about them next month.
We can, those emergency expenses, one that comes to mind is the ice machine went belly up and they have to have it for athletics. That was $3,000. We had to put an AC unit in the office wing at the middle school. I can't remember what the cost of that was. Do you know, Bill?
9,400.
9,400. So total on those emergency expenses was
56,000.
56,000.
56,000.
The largest piece being some high school boiler related work of around 21,000.
Mhm.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions for Melinda? Comments?
100,000 shortfall. That's based on essentially 1 month worth of school.
It's probably one
So-
student.
Well, but summer.
Well, if I might,
Sure, please.
so keep in mind that is at this point, and April Levesque does a fantastic job in pupil services of getting all the encumbrances set up and the like, so. So all of the encumbrances are in place for all the students that we currently have. And that's why obviously, we haven't spent that money. A big chunk of that overage and the expenses that show on the books at this point are in encumbrances. Because you're only 2 months into the school year and you're gonna pay those down as you work through. The problem is that generally it seems that kids only move into town, in that bucket and rarely move out of town. So unfortunately, I would expect that to go up, but yes, at this point, that's our best estimate of where it would come out based on the kids that are there right now.
So that's more of a full year projection.
Yes, yep. But it probably wouldn't be unreasonable to expect that it would climb.
Understood. Okay, thank you for the clarification. Anything else on school district?
Just one question or comment, I guess. The total enrollment is 775, 4.
Yeah,
That's down roughly 25 from where we would have been a year ago.
yes, we were at 800. at the end of
800
the
plus or
year.
minus.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Moving on to item 7, the financial update.
Brief update on fiscal 25. I didn't send a separate report because the numbers haven't changed significantly there. So we still have some good news coming out of 25, but a first look at 26. Property taxes at this point, and this number is the number on the report is through September 30th of 10.9 million, which is just under 50% of the budget. I did talk to Scott today because one thing that's a little wrinkle in timing here, October 1st, which was the due date, didn't hit that number. So just in October, Scott and his team have collected another 917,000. So that's a significant uptick there that really relates to the timing of one day or a little bit more of collections. State and federal grants, so far it's just a pilot grant. Local revenue, investment income still continues to be strong, as we've talked about. Rates are trending down, but we're still seeing the benefit there. And expenses, obviously, it's early in the year, but we're at 31.6% of the budget, and keep your fingers crossed for a mild winter. From if I can go into Turtle Lot Trust.
No, other than
Oh,
before we
sure.
do that, other than the unknown winter that we won't know until it happens, anything else of concern in your mind that may be trending or we need to keep an eye on?
No, right now, it's still very early, but we've also, as you guys know, we've had a lid on expenses, both at the school and at the town. People just, anything that absolutely didn't have to be purchased wasn't. So I think we'll start to see that ramp up at this point. For example, I think today we paid the last of the fire departments, their grants. We had held off on that because of the cash crunch.
Yeah.
We did make the next payment on the HVAC ahead of the reimbursement that is now a month out from the state, simply because Air Temp was the vendor on HVAC was pretty far out there. I went ahead and processed that submission today, and interestingly enough, they won't let you submit the next submission until they've paid the previous one, which is convenient. So
I was on a webinar today and they said 30 business days to expect your.
yeah, well, they've already, so the one we're waiting on was submitted on September 5th, approved on the 8th. So we're right there. So I've nudged them twice already on this one. I'll do so again. But other than that, no, I mean, obviously, we had to touch contingency, related to the ambulance. but thank God it's there, so we could do that. But that's about it so far. Everyone's been great in terms of trying to keep a lid on expenses.
That's great. Dave?
Melinda, you mentioned a non-lapsing fund, the Board of Education. Do you have a number on that?
So there are two, as you may recall. The original non-lapsing account, which is Board of Finance controlled, has $47,285 left in it. And the new, what I've been calling the BOE controlled non-lapsing account. You'll recall that the BOE didn't put their whole surplus from last year, and then they
Right.
put 290 in. But they had spent 192,846, with leaving a remaining balance of 97,154.
Thank you.
154?
Yes,
Thank you. Thank you, Bill.
sure.
And Bill, on the investment side, anything more we can do, or do you feel like we've maxed that out? Can we do any cascading?
No, I think,
investments
I
that
mean,
can
we're in
roll
that.
out, you know, without putting you in a hot zone on cash flow.
Right, and I think we're in that state short-term fund right now, and I think it's a pretty good place to be. The yields are still pretty good, and especially since we just made that next HVAC payment, I think we'll stay put. Yeah.
Any other questions for Bill?
And
Steve,
the
yes.
expenses I see are 31%, 32% of budget.
Yep.
That's for a quarter of the year.
Right, but keep in mind that we tend to, a lot of the, especially on the town side, some of the bigger things that we have to pay up front are insurance, for example, that we have to pay the whole premium for the year. So there are some larger expenses that are on the front end. And we do see that every year. It's actually a little bit lighter this year because we held off on things like the fire departments.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Bill? Okay, thank you, Bill. Hearing none, let's move on to the Turtle Lot Fund update.
We got some great news when the Weiss Hales Zahansky statement came in. The fund is now, when you include the Bank of America funds, we're actually at 3.2 million in the Turtle Lot Trust, which is great because it feels like not all that long ago, we were in the mid $2 million range. Especially since I think we've mentioned this to the board before, we've got a roof issue that we're dealing with in the 1909 building. That Bill Birch and his team fortunately were able to Band-Aid for this winter, but there's a portion of that roof that is a flat rubber roof. It's a 20-year roof and it's 22 years old. So the trust is headed down the path of enrolling the help of the building committee. We've talked to Tira about the potential of steep grant money. Hopefully we'll open up in January. So it's good that we have some money to work with there.
Yes, Steve.
Any state funding for roof repair over 20 years?
The best option that we seem to have in front of us is if STEEP opens up again in January.
Okay.
And Tira seems to think if it does, that we might be able to structure that at about a 20% match. So that would be the impact to the trust. Essentially similar to what we just did with the library roof.
And we're looking at just the roof over the auditorium?
Yes, that was the
And
piece
the
that,
gutters.
gutters too. I missed the gutter part.
The gutters are the original, it's a gutter system, according to Bill. I know nothing about this. But I do know that, he said they're original to the building and they must be replaced.
Okay.
So he's working on, in addition to the repairs, Bill and team are working on kind of what that budget was.
Yes.
Have a number yet. We had a meeting on the 23rd, a special meeting on the 23rd of September. So I think the Band-Aid was for the winter, and then
Yep.
we'll know more in the coming months
Exactly.
what that will look like. And then did we confirm that the annual meeting will be December 1st today? Or is that
Yes,
still-
yep.
Okay,
That's what's going to be put on the calendar, although we may have to move it.
okay.
But that's 12/1/26, so we've got some time there.
And then just as a reminder to the group, WHC has set us up with as the fund grows, there'll be a certain amount that is peeled off or available. And the overarching goal is to continue to spend less than it earns over a long time horizon, and they've done a really nice job, since we've switched over to them. And if we do that, then the balance will be meaningful in decades from now versus keeping that floor. 2.3 million is a big number, but at some point it's not gonna earn enough to, to maintain the building. Anything else, Bill?
That's it.
Doors
Okay,
need replacement, they're not even 120 years old.
probably the best gutters made by me. That's 120 years. Impressed.
Did you still need a replacement?
No,
Okay, good.
yeah,
Keep it.
I think I'll continue there, unless you're really
Oh,
passionate.
no, I was just gonna offer if you wanted, because you've asked last month,
I
but
did.
good, keep it.
New business. 9A, anything else on Turtle Lot Fund? We're good? Okay, new business, item 9A, building committee request on behalf of the school for additional appropriations related to the school security project. And I have a funny feeling that may be why you're here.
It is.
Here, I thought you just liked us.
With that, was your plan.
Thank you, Brian Santos, member of the building committee. Before I get started, I just want to also thank Amy for her service. Speaking for myself at the building committee, Amy has been nothing short of spectacular when it comes to supporting the building committee, talking strategy on finance, and finding ways to get things done in this community is something that has been really profound and special, I guess. And she will be missed, that is for sure. So thank you, Amy, for all of your efforts on that front. I also, before I get to the topic at hand, I thought it would be appropriate to kind of walk through all of the projects that the building committee has been assigned. Some of these are outside of the town or building committee, but I thought it would be appropriate for you as the finance committee to hear about a lot of positives that have gone on in the past couple of years. So the library roof was completely stripped and redone. That was completed on schedule and within budget. The school roof, that we just talked about it, that particular project was completed on schedule and within budget, and we did talk about that 1909 roof as well at the time, but that was not part of the overall game plan. It's funny how that just came up today. The school track, that was completed on schedule and within budget as well. The SALT building, for those that have seen it, is a very nice structure. Glad that we were able to get that completed. That was also completed on schedule within budget. 65 Main Street, we are maintaining our schedule and budget there, and Tier has done wonders for presentations and organizing that and getting grant funding, but I think the structure over there is completely visually and aesthetically pleasing, concerning where it was a few years ago. The school HVAC project that's going on right now, that remains on schedule and on budget. We are keeping that very tight from a finance perspective, just to make sure everything is going to come in all right, because that is a very costly project, and Bill Birch and the building committee are monitoring that every single month. The library oil tank was completely revamped, and that was completed on schedule, on budget as well. Which leads me towards why I'm here tonight, and that's the school securities project has gone slightly over budget. Primarily reasons were existing conditions with design assist and the construction lane conditions in the field, all of which were required. If you all remember, when I did the presentation, when we were trying to get the approval for the votes, the security project was a very sensitive item. I did not want to expose too many things of our shortfalls or issues with the doors there for obvious reasons of security. But with that being said as well, I don't think we could have avoided some of these things with the security because they're needed to get things done and secure up there. I don't think we were really left with any other choice to avoid some of these costs. But we did do an evaluation, and I'll turn to my assistant, or leader, I should say, Mr. Steglitz, in evaluating costs, considering the library oil tank did come in well under budget. The comment tonight is the building committee requests on the behalf of the school an appropriation of $26,996.55 to be exact, to be able to pay for the balance due to the contractor Pelletier for the remaining of the security project.
Want me to jump in, Brian? Talk about so we track a number of projects for the building committee in the capital projects fund. There are a couple of older oil spill and remediation projects that had appropriations. Those projects had come in under budget in years past because the oil related projects tend to have a longer tail. Those appropriations have just remained on the books within that capital fund. So there is room to harvest some of those appropriations and essentially transfer them from one project to another without hitting the general fund. And that's an option that the Board of Finance could consider.
What's the value of that?
The total amounts, it's across 3 projects and it totals $70,604.
And those projects are complete? and
Yes,
nothing come-
they were
cars.
wrapping up. They've been wrapped up for a couple of years at this point.
Yeah, the
if I
one
remember.
dragged on a long time with some filters and stuff, but
Right.
that's been completed
But
now.
they're close. It's
They're-
not like
they're close.
and none of that 70 is gonna be needed for
They're
any
right.
of those 3 projects.
Yeah, and that's why we had left it for as long as we did, just to make sure that
Yep.
nothing snuck up on us from an oil perspective. So I think at this point, that's a feasible way to go, without hitting surplus, or the general fund. Or contingency.
Yes, Dave.
The bill that you gave us is exact,
Yes.
in other words.
Yep, that's the outstanding balance.
I would make a motion that we transfer then the $26,996.65.
55.
55?
Yep.
Sorry.
It's okay.
And from the under budget 3 projects, which shows a balance of $70,604. So that would leave still a balance
Yes.
in that
Yep.
area.
Okay, the motion on the floor is to use 26,996.55 from the balance of those prior three closed projects. Is there a second? to this
Second.
motion? Brian is the second. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, Brian. So do you anticipate any more on the security project? Is this like, this is what we're over right now, but we may, I mean, is this it?
Yeah, this
Okay,
this balance has actually been hanging out.
Yeah.
We've been withholding for about 5 or 6 months at this point.
Correct.
Mhm.
So
So
we've been trying to figure out this situation, and that's why we did the review with Stack.
The project is complete.
It's-
yes,
Okay, all right.
any other questions or comments?
Was it earmarked for anything else?
The 70,000?
Yeah, the reason you didn't close it, was there any other, are there any other
we
ones
have been
that?
because it was oil related, we were just being conservative.
Okay.
And at this point, it's been at least 1.5 to 2 years on all of them.
Yeah.
So I think we're okay, and we will still have a little bit left just in case, I suppose.
Something else.
Right.
Any other questions or comments on the topic or on the motion? Thank you for taking the time to
Yeah.
go through that.
My pleasure. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hearing none, and since it's, we're spending dollars, we'll, vote individually. Hearing none, I'll start with you, Steve. How do you vote?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes,
Brian?
Yes,
Nikki?
Yes,
And Rob Ward, I'll vote yes, so that passes 5-0. I think it closes out 9A. 9B, discussion of the 2026 BOF meeting schedule. Thank you to RJ, because I probably would think about this on January 1st. This is kind of the overarching schedule that we had this year.
Right.
I would suggest, unless anyone has any concern, that we stick with our third Thursday at 7 PM for our regular meetings. And we do the full year, and if we want to cancel July or August, as we traditionally do, we can make that decision or not.
When it happened.
This year, we didn't get that break in July, but we took it in August. Any discussion on that
I
topic?
think in the past, we added a few meetings, scheduled meetings for budget time so that they could be regular meetings. We could introduce other topics if we needed to.
Yeah.
As opposed to having those special meetings where you can't do that.
Yeah.
So I wonder if we might add those as well.
My thought there, if we can add them, that'd be great, but my thought there, since we're gonna cascade off of, the kickoff meeting. Now that we're doing with the one meeting with the BOE, followed by a series of meetings with the Board of Selectmen. That timing is gonna kind of dictate when we can get to work, and we had a gap this year. I would actually rather keep going. You know, gap meeting, we got done with our Board of Selectmen meetings, and I think it was 2 or 3 weeks. You know,
Mhm.
remind me, Bill, where we took a pause. I don't mind a week pause, but my view would be, let's just keep going and bang through
I
it while
agree.
it's hot. So I guess to answer Steve, I agree with you, Steve. To answer your question, I think we need to kind of know what the other groups are doing to piggyback off that. Do you guys have those dates yet, or
You mean the dates for the joint budget meeting?
the
Yes,
date for the joint budget BOS meetings and then the BOE meeting? We have one with the BOE.
Right, last year. There is still some time. If it was me, I would just vote on the regular scheduled meeting. And I had asked Bill tonight. Because he created that based on whatever the school schedule was.
Right.
Right, yeah, we can vote on a
And-
regular
and
meeting,
if you
but
notice-
but to Steve's
Well, I
point, we
don't
want to
know.
get it all buttoned in.
Yeah, this year's schedule, it shows on the bottom of the schedule.
Yeah.
On what those dates were.
I can,
We didn't
Yes.
start until March 13th and we finished on February 20th.
Right,
So we would need like those 4 dates, if we need all 4, we should schedule 4, but if we need them, we use them. And then BOE, I don't remember what, that was the 21st of January?
it might have started on March 13th because it's historic that. That first Thursday in March is the public presentation at the school. Where we present, it's the public hearing, public presentation. And so you probably didn't meet until that following week last year.
But we changed something last year.
yeah, it was on the 6th, the budget presentation was March 6th.
I can pull together before the next meeting, have to build it, Melinda, the school calendar. To get everything to line up.
Mhm.
Yeah, the school calendar's going before the board, I'm thinking next month, Danielle and I gotta finish it off.
So meetings before, so you think we might be able to have it by the November meeting?
Yes. Yep. I'll just,
So maybe we
Got it.
just hold on any vote on, is it, I mean, the regular schedule.
Well, when does the town put the schedule
Every
together?
third Thursday.
What's that?
This is a town schedule.
Yeah.
When's the deadline? on
I
that?
thought it was first week in December, maybe?
Oh, so
was it?
You got time.
we have time.
Yeah.
What did we change last year about, we changed something from no later than?
Oh, that was just the
Oh,
annual
yes.
town meeting. The annual town meeting can't be later than the first Monday in May,
It was the first Monday and we should, well, that
In May.
answers this exact, in May.
not
May.
March, May.
So the
May.
March meeting, is there anything confining us to have to do
Sure.
it?
No, it's just traditionally, it was always that first Thursday, but you could have it earlier,
We could do it like the last week of March, Feb if we
Yeah.
want.
right?
I mean, we kind of test ran this
Yeah,
first
Well, it's
year.
budget presentation. That depends on Board of Select, the new
Right.
Board of Selectmen and the Board of Education.
So
it
work
might-
on
it
In
the,
will
terms
be
of
again.
their
It's flexible.
preparation.
That's true, that's true. Okay, so we'll pick this back up next month and maybe get it done at that point if we're ready.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay. Any other comments or questions on nine B? Okay, hearing none, we'll move to item 10, old business. I don't have any old business. Does anybody have any old business?
Okay.
You may have some more business, Steve.
Our words thinking would open up next meeting to, oh, that's the next meeting of the Turlock Fund. To a different board member. Oh, you need to, I guess it's the
I
next.
think Nikki was asking about that, we could talk about this.
You pick.
Well, I'm kind of liking that idea. Okay. Any other old business, or is there any old business? Okay, item 11, citizen comments. We'll start again in the room. Are there any citizens in the room that have comments? Maybe the small comments. Maybe small citizens. Okay.
She's not hawking anything tonight. There's not a meeting like
Some kind of-
something.
some say.
No,
What's next?
no. I just got used to it.
Okay. Any citizen on the Zoom that would like to make a comment at this time? Citizen on Zoom, any comments? Excellent, okay. Hearing none, we'll move on to item 12, Board of Finance member comments. Are there any Board of Finance members that have a comment?
I'm gonna miss Amy. That's my only comment.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we all will.
Yeah. Anyone else? Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Meeting is adjourned at 7:41. Thank you, everyone.
Bad, you guys are quicker than the building committee.